and also some food that people are longing for. At the front, Rozita Pnini, the co-founder and COO of the MirYam Institute, joins us on that topic exactly. Thank you very much, Rozita, for coming into our studio. Tell me about what you've been up to the last week.
Thank you so much for having me. So I woke up on Sunday morning and I thought to myself, after being glued to the TV the whole Saturday, because I experienced 2014, what happened then, I knew that the soldiers will be in a great need for food because they are in several different fronts. So I said to myself, I have a good friend, his name is Nesher Edry, who owns a whole wedding hall. I called him up and I said to him, Nesher, no events are happening in the South. What, can I take over your kitchen? And he said to me, come over, it's yours, open it up, do whatever you want. And what I did was I wrote in few groups, I need volunteers. I cannot even start and begin to tell you what kind of response I got. I got a response, overwhelming. I have
what sort of people?
Any kids, elderly, anyone that you can imagine, young people before their service, after their service, anyone that, like, I have about 70 to 90 people every day. We prepare about 1,500 meals.
Wow.
And we send it to the fronts in the South and in the North.
What sort of food do you make? I mean, you said the troops, due to your experience, you knew that the troops would be needing food. Is that because they don't have enough supplies of food, or do you mean that they would need good food?
I think they need good food. I think they need warm, good food, not just the sandwiches that they get or the manot krav that they get. Honestly, I think that they all complain about the manot krav. They all complain about the sandwiches that after 2 hours they become soggy. So what we do an individual packing of meat, some carbs, and some vegetables for them. And we add to it some letters from kids. I have moved my whole community here in Tel Aviv with the children, and I asked to put letters because the officers that are responsible for the units, they tell me, you know what? The letters are much more important because it really raises their spirit. So we're doing that. We put in our hearts and souls in what can cheer them up, what
amazing.
They really need.
And it gets the children involved as well.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Now, tell me about delivering these fantastic dishes. From what I hear that you're preparing, how do you get to the soldiers, especially in days like this?
So we also have volunteers that are drivers. It's a whole group and a team of drivers that it's all online. We speak to them. You put the direction that you want the food to move to, and they apply to what they could do. I have some gentlemen who are joining us with making the food, who are willing to take the food to the soldiers. Sometimes the officers will get to us, but most of the time we maneuver the food to them.
And have you received any special requests by now?
Oh my God, I was up until 12:30 last night because Shabbat ended. Just getting on my phone, please, can you send 50 meals here, 150 there? This morning I got 750, and I have to say, I can't say no, because I know that every request that we get is definitely something and somewhere, and they understand that they need it there.
Now, who is financing this, Rozita?
So my organization, I have a non-for-profit. I co-founded with Benjamin Anthony a non-for-profit organization. I lived in the U.S. for the last 38 years. I have a non-for-profit that's called the MirYam Institute. I work with the State Department. I bring officers and cadets to Poland and to Israel to learn about what Israel is all about, and I have donors. My donors who are in the United States, we
Fantastic
have put
causes, but very far away from cooking.
100%. But they understand the needs. We express to them. But that's not the only thing that we do. We are going to supply the soldiers with many other items. Nothing that they need to fight with. Yes, not like the vests and the helmets that you hear that nobody can get. But, like knee pads. And maybe they would need some other things that they really essentials for them. So I have some great people in the US who are willing to donate. I've been having things that are already being shipped to us over here, like simple socks, underwear, that they have no time to wash their stuff. We need to provide them with anything that's possible that will make them like first aid kit that the soldier can have on him just in case.
You mentioned vests, for example, and I want to bring in Dr. David Shimoni as well into the discussion and ask both of you, we have seen Israel cope with a disaster that is the worst that it's experienced since the foundation of the state 75 years ago. 1,300 dead in one day, an infiltration of 1,500 terrorists. And yet Israel has been through enough wars to learn lessons, and we speak about how strong the Israeli military is for deterrence, etc. And then on the other hand, as you're saying, Rozita, all of us are getting messages from reserves personnel who are saying we don't have vests, we don't have helmets, we don't have... How does Israel come to a situation where one of the strongest armies in the world is so badly equipped and unprepared?
I wouldn't say the army is badly equipped. I think everybody has everything and everything they need within the timetable that it is needed. We have to take into account, as far as we know, over 360,000 troops, reserve troops, were called to service within 48 hours. It's a huge logistic challenge, and nobody expected over 100% of the soldiers to appear, because, as you know, in the last months, politicians were bad-mouthing the IDF, its commanders. Soldiers were protesting, reservists were protesting, and I think what we see now, together with this very exciting initiative by Rozita and your team, shows that the people of Israel support, and it's more a matter of wanting to help, to be available, to provide to the soldiers. I don't think that there is one Israeli combat soldier who is intended to go into war who is not very, very well equipped and supplied.
So I would like to strengthen the point of reservists, 360,000 at 48 hours. It's a lot. We have never had that before. I remember in 2014, we took 100,000 reservists, and even then we had shortage. So I think it's not a matter of preparing ourselves so much. We didn't have time to even prepare ourselves. And the other issue that I see is what's the capability within the country itself to have so much supply. So we have to go out there, but then you have to be approved by the State Department and Misrad HaBitachon with everything that enters Israel. So that also creates an issue within the capability of supplying for the demand that is right now that needed. So I think these are things that we definitely need to analyze for the future, because our neighbors are here, and hopefully, yes, we are the strongest in the neighborhood, but we still need to understand what are the things that surrounding us that we need to strengthen ourselves with.
Okay.